What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Street Talk. My name's Ty, and today I wanted to get into my most anticipated movies for 2024. Street Talk's back. I know it's been a minute, but really excited to be making videos again. Thank you so much for clicking on this. So let's get into the video. First, I want to start out with some honorable mentions. First of which, let's look at some original ideas that are coming out this year. The first one that caught my eye is If. It stands for Imaginary Friends. It's directed by John Krasinski, who's also starring in the movie, alongside Steve Carell. So a little office reunion in that one. And then it's also got Ryan Reynolds in it, which is just, it's definitely on the radar. Next fun movie, also an original idea, is the movie Argyle. It's directed by Matthew Vaughn, who directed Kingsman. And I'm really excited for this one. He always has a lot of colors, a lot of pizzazz in his movies, and this one looks no different. So that one comes out February 2nd, so stay tuned for that one. Should be coming out here soon, and you should be starting to hear the hype about it. I would describe this movie as like a live-action Scribblenauts. If you played that back on DS back in the day, you know what I'm talking about. So it should be a fun time at the theaters. Great popcorn movie. Next one I got on my list is Civil War, and I'm not talking Avengers Civil War. This is based on a civil war that takes place in the United States, with it being like 2024, election year, whatever. I'm not like super political, but it'll definitely spark some discussion. The reason I have it on my list is because it has Jesse Plemons in it, who's just great in all of the movies he's in. He recently starred in Killers of the Flower Moon. I always like to see the creepy characters he gets to play. He's just so good at being just uncomfortable. If you've been watching Street Talk, you know we love this guy. And then another one I saw just recently, right before filming this, this movie called Wolves. It's supposed to have George Clooney and Brad Pitt in it, which is just an awesome duo. Kind of Ocean's 11 vibes. If it's anything like Ocean's 11, sign me up, and I'll definitely be there. I would have had this in my top 10, but I don't know enough about it to put it in there. But definitely could move up in the ranks as we start to figure out more about this movie. Next, let's get into some of the remakes for honorable mentions. This year we got Mufasa coming out, which is based on The Lion King. It's kind of like a live action, I believe. Kind of like the live action Lion King they did a couple years ago. But Mufasa, it's a family favorite of ours. We call Ben Mufasa all the time, so glad he's getting a little biopic. We'll be sure to check that one out as a family. I guarantee it. There's also supposed to be a Karate Kid movie that drops this year. I love the original Karate Kid. Apparently Ralph Macchio is going to be in it, as well as Jackie Chan, who was in the one that came out around like 10 years ago now. Anything with this IP, I get excited about. But I don't know enough about this one as well, so we'll stay tuned. Also, Ghostbusters is releasing a new movie. It's called Ghostbusters Frozen Tundra. I think it has some of the old members in it. We watched Ghostbusters when I was younger. I'm just not too familiar with the franchise to like get all the references, but could be a fun time at the theaters. I just don't have it in my top 10. And then for these next movies, shout out Chase. I got some horror movies. I'm not the biggest horror movie guy if you've been watching the show, but my little brother Chase, he likes to drag me to the movies and take me to some horror movies. So Chase, stay tuned for these. Alien Romulus, anything with alien's name on it. It's just a badass creature, villain. That one's definitely in the mix for one of the top horror movies coming out this year. And then we also have Nosferatu, which is based on a silent German film in like the 1920s. But Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise, is going to play this creature. He's like kind of like a vampire. So we'll see how that plays out. But Che, you're going to want to see this one probably. It's also directed by Robert Eggers, who made The Witch. It's just going to be a creepy movie. So if you like creepy stuff, check that one out. Also, Beetlejuice 2, which is it's a horror/comedy. It's going to be starring Michael Keaton again, and I think Jenna Ortega. I'm not like too big on Beetlejuice. We watched it back in the day a couple times, but I know a lot of people love it, so keep your eyes out for that. And then now I'm going to get into my top 10, but right before that, I just want to say there's plenty of movies that come out that we don't know that are coming out yet, so this is just my top 10, what I know now. Like Godzilla Minus One this past year is a great example. There's actually a black and white version of the movie dropping this Thursday, and I might have to go watch it again in black and white. I really hope the laser beam that he shoots out of his mouth is blue. That's all I'm going to say about that one. And these are just the movies that I think are going to be great this year and that I'm most excited to go to the theater to see. But with that being said, let's get into the top 10. All right, number 10, I have Joker Folie à Deux. I probably butchered that. It means something to the effect of pushing your delusions onto another person. Usually it happens in a relationship. In this movie's case, it's going to be the Joker and Harley Quinn. It's going to be obviously Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga. And apparently it's going to be kind of a musical situation. We'll see how that plays out. The first one, very loved and very unique take on the Joker. So excited to see the second rendition of this movie. Next, we got Gladiator 2. Big fan of the first one with Russell Crowe. It's going to be directed by Ridley Scott once again. Just an absolute star-studded cast. Starring Paul Mescal, Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, and Barry Keoghan. Paul Mescal was great in Aftersun. I saw that in one of my film classes this past year. And then obviously anything Denzel's in, I'm willing to go see. So super excited for that one. The cast looks incredible. And kind of an Oppenheimer situation with star-studded actor after another. Next, we got The Fall Guy. I'm super excited for this movie. It's directed by David Leitch, who I'm not too familiar with, but I did some research on him, and he's actually a former stuntman. And funny enough, this movie is about being a stuntman, and it's starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, who are two of the best actors in Hollywood right now. So that's definitely going to be a must-watch for me, and I feel like I could even put it higher on this list, so I'm super excited about that one. Next, we got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. CGI fest, but the past three have been great. This one's going to take place a few generations after the last one. And sadly, in the last movie, spoiler, Caesar passed away. For what I saw, I think we're going to get a character very similar to him, who's apparently teaching Caesar's ways, but I'm not too sure what's going on. I just know the past three have been great, and I'm excited to see the new one. Next, we got Kung Fu Panda 4. This one's coming in at number 6. I love Jack Black. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about that one. Besides the fact that I heard the villain, some kind of chameleon, and we'll be able to bring back characters from the past, so we'll get to see Tai Lung again, and possibly the Peacock. I don't want to watch too many of the trailers because I don't want to find too much out about this movie, but very excited, and you just gotta love some Po the Panda. Next, everyone's been talking about this movie. I have it number 5 just because the hype's been real for this one. I like the hype around this movie, but I just don't want to get my hopes up too high. We got Deadpool 3 at number 5. Ryan Reynolds is awesome as this character, and he will be joined alongside Wolverine, aka Hugh Jackman. So super excited about that. Should be a good little dynamic. I know they have some ongoing antics in real life. Their chemistry should be great on camera, and definitely excited to see this one as well.
Ryan Reynolds is a complete and total The gin's pretty great, though. I'll have to try it someday.
Ryan Reynolds is just like so great as this character. And I feel like they usually crush it with the soundtrack, so I'm excited to hear the songs they play. All right, number 4. This is probably a hot take, but Twisters is up in my top 4. I love the original Twister. We would watch it all the time when I was younger. Apparently it's going to have like Glenn Powell in it, who's pretty much a rising star in Hollywood right now. He was just in that rom-com, and obviously Top Gun is kind of how he made a name for himself, so I feel like he'll be good in this role. Definitely love to see some big-ass tornadoes and destruction. I also remember going to the ride at Universal where they got the cow flying by you. So super nostalgic for me personally. So I'll definitely be attending that one. Another movie that's been very hyped up is Dune 2. Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya. It's directed by Denis Villeneuve, who's done a great job with the first one. So you're going to have some great acting, some great CGI, some great battles. But the thing I'm most excited for personally is that Hans Zimmer score. So definitely make sure you watch this one in the theater. It's going to be an experience. I got Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. This one's directed by George Miller and starring Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth. 2 great actors. The first Mad Max is just absolutely awesome. It's actually directed by the same guy who directed the first one, so excited to revisit that world. A lot of color, a lot of pop, a lot of action. Hopefully there's some badass chase scenes. Yeah, with it sitting at number 2, it's definitely one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and I hope it lives up to the hype. And sitting at number 1, we got Mickey 17, directed by Bong Joon-ho. That's all I really need to hear for this one. He's one of my favorite directors. Parasite, one of my favorite films, as well as Memories of Murder, The Host. Pretty much anything this guy puts out. I mean, we got Snowpiercer as well. He does a great job, and it's also starring Robert Pattinson. So I'm excited to see that. Yeah, that's my most anticipated movie of the year. Bong Joon-ho deserves it. Pretty much anything he makes, I would be willing to go see. I don't know anything about the premise of it. I just know there's some kind of AI soldier or something. I kind of just want to go in blind to that one. With it being Bong Joon-ho, I don't think I have to know too much to know it's going to be great. So looking forward to that one. Well, guys, that did it for my list. Thank you for bearing with me, and thanks so much for clicking on this video. I had fun making this. Plenty of movies to watch this year, all different genres. So something for everybody. And I'm looking forward to making more videos like this. You guys have a great day. Let me know what movies you guys are excited for. Make sure you guys have your popcorn ready. 2024, have a great year this year. You guys have a good one.